Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+. Rated TV MALV. Viewer discretion advised. Maya Lopez has betrayed her mentor, the notorious Kingpin. Now on the run, she returns to her hometown to prepare for the biggest fight of her life. Don't miss Marvel Studios' hardest-hitting series yet. An epic 5-episode event. Marvel Studios Echo. All episodes streaming January 9th, only on Hulu and Disney+.
This episode is brought to you by KPMG. At KPMG, innovation is the go-to state of mind. Their visionary thinkers and advanced technology help you see beyond the now, uncover new insights, and turn them into opportunities. KPMG can help you leverage the value of data and drive transformational outcomes through innovation. To explore their thinking, go to kpmg.us.
This episode is brought to you by Bumble. Ladies, Bumble is in your corner. They remain dedicated and committed to supporting women, providing a safer space to build kind and meaningful connections. And the way they see it, every day is International Women's Day. So this year, to show their ongoing support, Bumble is investing in the next generation of women making moves for a better tomorrow. Make your move and join Bumble in supporting women. Visit bumble.com/IWD.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this is your Bloody Happy Hour. Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
This is your Bloody Happy Hour, Thursday edition.
Thirsty Thursday. What you drinking?
I have some leftover Bacardi coconut rum.
Oh, and I have a Rancherita.
Rancherita.
So we're so fun today. We're wild and crazy and out of control. What's going on? What's the latest? Are you watching anything? We haven't talked about what we're watching in a while.
Nope, I just finished part 1 of You. Did you ever watch You?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I just finished
season 1?
Season 4, or the latest season, but it's 2 parts.
Oh.
So there's a part 1, and then that ended, and I think part 2 is coming out.
Oh, it's like so many episodes in part 1, and then so many episodes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm ready for that to come out, and that's it. I'm ready for if I've not told y'all already, it is the 30th anniversary of Waco. David Koresh.
Oh, I don't think we have.
February 28th was the first day that the standoff happened. So y'all, if you're just tuning in, we are a podcast out of Waco, Texas. And we were both alive when this happened. And I have to admit that I was never totally sure what really happened. I just was never into cults. I never did a deep dive into it. But right now I'm reading a book, my book club, and there's a new Netflix series coming out on the 23rd. And we're also, my book club is going on a tour of all the land down there because they're still active Branch Davidians. They're still waiting for David to come back, like Christians know Jesus coming back.
Is Waco going to blow up? What's the anniversary date? The actual date?
So it was a 51-day standoff. So the date was February 28th, but it was actually done April 19th to whatever year that was, 1993 or something. 1993. So Caroline and I are going to watch the American Apocalypse. We are going to do a deep dive, and we're going to give you a multi-series episode on that.
Rewatch?
Yeah, like a rewatch of The Thing. But I don't think we really know what a rewatch is, so we're just throwing that word around.
A rewatch is we watch it, and then we make a little slideshow like I did last time, and then we just tell them exactly what happens in the episodes.
Okay.
Is there episodes in the show, or is it just like a movie?
I don't know.
Oh, well, maybe we won't. Maybe we will. You'll have to find out. We're not telling you who we are.
So that's all. I'm David Koresh is in my head right now. That's it.
Any other murder shows? No.
Nope. I'm excited for today's episode. What is it about?
Well, it's kind of ruined because I've already ruined it with our little commercial. But do you know who Jared Fogel is? Have you ever heard of Jared Fogel?
Mm-hmm. Jared.
Did you actually know that?
Yes.
You knew that was his last name?
Yes. I remember when it happened and when it went down.
I had no idea that was his name. I would have been like, no, I don't know.
Of course.
Wow. Well, yes, Jared from Subway. What do you remember went down? I remember
he became a sensation because he was really big and he lost all this weight, and he attributed it to to Subway. And he'd be in there all the time, and he would randomly go to Subways across town. He got free Subway, and then turns out there's a bunch of porn on his computer.
Podcast over.
And he likes little boys. And now he's a gross ass.
So that's where we're going. We're going to Subway.
Okay.
So get your foot long. Get your whatever else people eat at Subway. And let's go. Jared he had this insane opportunity, as we know. Okay, so Jared had this great opportunity. All he had to do was stand there with his giant size 60 pants, big ass monster pants, and eat Subway sandwiches, and he's a millionaire. That's all he had to do.
Easy life.
Easy
free
life.
Subway.
Free Subway. You got your foot. I mean, you have so many things that you can get at Subway, But you know what? He ended his career the same way he started it.
What? How?
Trying to get into smaller pants. Where's the ba-dum-bum? So he's born in Indianapolis, Indiana, 1977. He loved video games. He loved eating sugar. He loved eating chips. He loved sitting around and being lazy and not doing anything, playing Nintendo, whatever. Duck, duck, go. What is that?
Duck, duck, goose.
Duck, duck, goose.
No,
the Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt. I love Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt, Mario Kart, whatever you play. So he's growing up. He's lazy. He's not doing anything. He's obviously spending a lot of time gaining a bunch of weight and getting into his size 60 pants. So he ends up going to Indiana University, and at this time he weighed a whopping 425 pounds.
Damn.
Jared's he's quite impressive. He's very well-rounded guy. And on an average day, Jared would drink up to 15 cans of soda. I can't even drink a whole...
No.
How are you even that thirsty?
It's because that does not quench your thirst.
Oh, maybe he needs some gum.
He needs some water or coconut water.
He would eat up to 10,000 calories. He wouldn't even be able to walk around campus.
He wasn't able to walk
He was not able to walk around campus. He could not keep up with anyone.
They didn't have online classes then.
They did not have online classes. If they did, he'd probably be sitting in his wrappers. So when New Year's came around, he was going to set a resolution, and he was going to lose some weight and change his life.
Hey.
Get it, Jared. So he started eating at Subway. Subway was like just 10 steps away from where he lived. So he was like, I'm just going to pick the
closest restaurant.
He had to pick the closest restaurant.
Because Subway
No, he didn't just love Subway. He was just like, that's the closest shit I can get to without being out of breath after cardiac arrest. So he starts eating 2 sandwiches a day. He's exercising. And then within 11 months, 245 pounds.
So he didn't get surgery? I was like, he got surgery.
I'm sure he did. They just ain't telling us.
Wow.
I don't believe it. But that's not what the article said. So
okay.
So he literally became half the man he was. He lost half. Literally. people started to notice. He's like this insane weight loss. His roommate that he had at the time was like, I'm going to write an article about you because you've lost half your weight. Who are you? I can barely see you over there. You're so skinny.
Now you could probably see your penis. Did you know? I don't know where I read this, but for every 35 pounds a man loses, he can gain an inch of penis. Because when they gain
I do not believe that.
When they gain weight, it just
I think that their fupa is covering up their penis.
So then the extra skin goes back down to where it should go.
I do not believe it.
Look it up.
Look it up right now. I need you. Listen, guys. We're at this podcast, Bloody Happy Hour. We come to you and we bring the facts. We spit the facts. We research, and all we present to you is facts. So that's why we sometimes have to stop and do some research. And we're not jewelers, but we just keep dropping gems. I'm so funny today. Okay, while you're looking it up, his roommate's writing this article about him, and this article ends up on the front page of the newspaper. And then miraculously, this story is picked up by Men's Health. And then the next thing you know, there's an article called Stupid Diets That Work. And from that point, Jared becomes a phenomenon.
Okay.
So the executives at Subway catch wind of this story, and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy's eating our sandwiches and he's losing all this weight. Look at his giant pants. And then dollar signs, just like cha-ching, money in the bank. 22 years old, Subway made a deal with him. This would change his life forever. $1.1 million, and Jared became a celebrity endorser for Subway. I know we all remember, we see the Subway commercial, we see Jared, we all know who Jared is. And I remember seeing it on like Super Bowl commercials. What was one of the first ones? I can't remember, but I know he became like just a big. Yes. Everybody knew who Jared from Subway. Yes. Jared from Subway. Jared from Subway.
He put Subway on the map. I went to Subway before that.
I only went because of Jared.
What year is this?
I was gonna say 2013 because I just wanted to guess a year, but
oh, maybe I went to Subway before that then.
No, in 19. So it was about 2000.
Okay.
Because I was 13 years old. Well, it was April 1999 was when Men's Health picked up the story.
Oh. Okay.
And then he got Subway. So 2000, around the early 2000s. Yeah.
3 years.
So he's 22 years old. He's making $1 million. And he starts, here's my answer to your question. His first ad, which premiered the Jared diet, was in early 2000.
Okay.
So we survived the millennium when we thought Y2K, we thought everything was going to crash, and it didn't. And then we've had Jared, so we were all very excited. Yeah, he was our reward. Y2K. You got through it. All these, so they have a bunch of ads that are premiering and showing, and it's just Jared, there's your average guy, and look what he did, and oh my gosh, everybody loves Jared. All he's doing is eating these sandwiches, and that's all you have to do, and you can lose 500 pounds.
And he was there every day.
Every day, every meal. He was super relatable. He was super friendly. I mean, he's just a good guy, and he made his pants famous. So he ended up being in more than 300 Subway commercials. He wrote an autobiography, and he wrote a children's book.
Oh,
foreshadowing. He became a motivational speaker, and he was bringing in tens of thousands of dollars for an appearance. So by the age of 25, he's now a multimillionaire. I mean, how do you even get that big at that young of an age? That takes a lot of work and dedication. So he obviously was a dedicated guy. Yep. So Jared had a huge cultural impact. He was grand marshaling NASCAR races. He was on Jimmy Fallon played him, like parodied him. He was in like a SNL skit playing him. In 2002, he carried the Olympic torch. What? And then he was the centerpiece of a South Park episode. I learned all these things.
Wow.
He was kind of a loser back in the day, and like he didn't really have any friends because he was just, a little overweight, and he never had a date before. But now that he's a millionaire,
his penis grew.
Mm-hmm. Here you go. All these people coming out, and he got married, and he married a pediatric nurse.
Did he just randomly show up at our office?
I think so. I think he
Oh my goodness. I can't.
With all his loose skin. You know he had a bunch of loose skin.
He probably had surgery.
But you can't get rid of loose skin. Well, they end up having this happy and loving marriage. But was it so happy and loving? It wasn't all roses. Let me tell you. Criticisms came because doctors and nutritionists, and I don't know why his nutritionist wife didn't say anything, but they were like, he's obviously just eating 1,000 calories a day and he's basically starving himself. And that's not healthy.
That's all he was eating?
That's what they were saying. They're like, what this diet is that you are promoting is just eating 1,000 calories a day, and that's not how you can maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
So Subway had to put out these disclaimers in their ads stating talk to a doctor first, and they had to issue a statement saying that Subway didn't endorse Jared because he was literally eating just 2 subs a day, skipping breakfast and working out. So they kind of had to like cover themselves.
Okay.
But it didn't matter. He was still out there doing his Subway stuff. They just had to make a little disclaimer. So yes, they for a while are basing their whole brand on this random guy from Indiana who lost a bunch of weight and carried around his giant pants. So within 10 years, Jared has quadrupled Subway's revenue from $3.1 billion to $11.4 billion.
What the hell?
Yes. The CEO of Subway said, Jared, I want to be a news reporter. Jared is woven into the fabric of the brand, and it is an essential part of the family. Like that. But you know what? You should probably hide your kids because something's about to happen. Jared has this fame and fortune, and he ends up starting this foundation called the Jared Foundation. And this was aimed to fight childhood obesity, which that's a great cause. And so, I mean, that makes sense. He obviously was. Exactly. So he would go around to elementary schools, high schools. He would educate children on eating fresh and making healthy decisions and healthy choices and all the things. So, I mean, this is a great cause. Kids are getting healthy, and he's showing off his big giant pants everywhere. He's going across the nation. He was on the Oprah show. He was on the Today show. He was in Super Bowl commercials, all the things. So,
sounds like he's doing positive things.
I mean, I feel like he was. Mm-hmm. He was. Everything's positive so far.
What did he do? What did he do before? Did we ever know that?
He was just in college.
Oh, he was that young.
Yeah, 22. Okay. And then 25, 22 when they wrote that article. And that's when he started walking to Subway 10 steps away.
Wow.
Yeah. So this foundation wasn't really like all that it was cracked up to be. It was more of like image campaign because, what sells, I guess, kids sell things. So kids make you money and you can extort kids. I don't know. It's children. So this charity, it raised $650,000, but only donated $145,000 to fight obesity, and it just kind of became more of the foundation paid more to its director than it did to actually spending money on promoting health to the kids. So it was kind of a scammy program. And it just was to enhance like his own image. Like, hey, look how good I look. I'm not really doing anything for these kids. I'm just trying to show up so you think that I'm great and I'm Jared and I lost all this weight. So now he's in this position to where he has access to children and he's on top of the world. He's making millions of dollars. Jared's real famous. And what do you do when you become famous? You start having affairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich and famous.
Your head gets real big.
Famous. Your head is bigger than your belt, and you're not used to it, so you are like, I'm hot. So you have affairs. And he went on a radio show, and he met this lady named Rochelle. Now, Rochelle, remember about Rochelle. Remember.
Okay.
Remember her.
Keep her in your back pocket.
Yeah. So he would go on these like romantic getaways with Rochelle, and he would also hook up with other Subway store owners and other Jared groupies.
Oh, because... they're the best looking people.
Oh, yeah. You don't know about those owners. Jared was living his best life until 2007 when the recession hit and the economy crashed. 2008. Remember all that? That was bad. I don't know. I was in college, so I don't know what happened. But apparently it was real bad. So Subway started to feel like this whole Jared thing was starting to be played out. And they're like, oh, we got to switch it up. We got to switch it up.
$5 foot long.
And then the $5 foot long started coming out. So he's like, that's fine. It's fine. And around this time, he ends up, his marriage starts to fall apart.
Okay. Usually happens.
Yeah. So once his wife realized that his foundation was a sham, and I don't know if she knew about the affairs, but she just was not having it. She knew, she had to have known. And then she also filed a restraining order against him because she said that he had become controlling and he had a mean streak. And when she filed for divorce, the reason that she gave was irretrievably broken. I mean, maybe from the affairs. I don't know. I didn't know that was a reason. I never checked a box when I got divorced. So I would have added that to I would have added that to the I would have been like above all the above.
It's like our irreconcilable differences.
I know. I've never heard of this one. So maybe that's how it is in what state is this in? Indiana. So post-divorce, so he's got divorced. He's done with these ad campaigns. He has all this free time, and so he's taking more business trips to stay active for the foundation.
Is he going to Disneyland?
Well, probably. Disneyland would probably welcome him with open arms. Here's our kids. Take them. So he was doing hundreds of elementary school presentations across the United States. And the day before one of his big presentations, there's this guy. He goes to a bar and he's just having a drink. And he runs into this guy named Russell Taylor. So they start getting to know each other. They're like, hey, let's have a drink, whatever. And Russell Taylor has a wife and 2 kids. He's married, whatever. But they really hit it off. Okay. And so Jared's like, hey, why don't you come out to dinner with me? Well, don't worry, we're not going to Subway. I can afford more than a $5 footlong. So he's like, oh, they're at dinner. And Jared's like, actually, I need help writing my speech for tomorrow for the next day. So
we'll get around.
Yeah, so can you help me write my speech? And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll help you write your speech. And then the next day he gives the speech, and the speech is a huge hit. And he's like, Russell Taylor, I think I'm going to hire you. Okay. So he's like, starts inviting him on all these different foundation trips for the Jared Foundation. Takes him to a Patriots playoff game. They had a $3,000 a night suite during this trip at the Hilton. And after this game, they went to a strip club. Like, he just met this guy, right? I guess he really has faith in him. So they go to the strip club, and they're going in the champagne room, and they are just living their best life. And Jared is like, tells Russell Taylor, if you can convince that stripper to come back to the hotel room, I'll pay you good. Okay, and Russell's like, okay. So convince him to come back. They bring the stripper back to the room, and bing, bang, bam, they both have sex with her, and this begins their 12-year run.
Relationship? Run of strippers?
Run of what I'm about to tell you about.
The beginning of a relationship.
The beginning of their situationship. Yeah. So Jared went and he hires Taylor, and Taylor becomes the executive head of the foundation.
Of Jared Foundation.
Yes.
Don't really know what it is.
The two become inseparable. They're traveling across the country, across the world, and they're giving all these healthy eating presentations to kids everywhere, all over. And also Jared continued to show off his pants.
Same bunk ass khakis.
The same pair of khakis. Man, how did they just keep those khakis pleated? They're looking good. They're just like he wore them the day before. I mean, wow, he was just keeping those pristine. So they go to Thailand, they go to Japan, they go to Indonesia. They're all over the place. Wow. They're
He's
partying.
Not sad about his divorce at all, is he?
No. And they're partying their face off. They're just doing it.
How old is Russell? Did you tell us this?
No, but I don't know how Russell is.
Okay. But he's not a little kid.
No, Russell's a grown man. Russell, because he's married and he has 2 kids. And he's married, and these 2 kids are his stepkids.
Okay.
Just remember that. So they're in all these different countries, and they're getting prostitutes, and they are finding women. They're making sure these women aren't with law enforcement, and they're bringing them back to their rooms, and once they make sure that these people aren't with law enforcement, they start asking them, they're like, hey, do you have any underage escorts that you could get for us? You know, because we just curious if you do. We're just curious. And this is whenever some things start to transpire. So with both of them being out of town so much, Russell Taylor, I'll just call him Russell. Russell starts to get kind of paranoid about people stealing things back at the foundation headquarters, I guess, Fogel Foundation, because they're gone so much. He's like, well, I'm worried about people are going to steal some things, so I'm going to put some cameras around the office just to avoid people. Okay, that's normal. Put some cameras up. But he puts hidden cameras up. I think they're like really hidden, like in like alarm clocks or something.
Oh, like nanny cams.
Yeah, nanny cams. So when they come back from one of their trips, Russell is like going through the camera footage, and he sees one of the underage interns having sex with her boyfriend on the camera in one of these rooms at the foundation. And he goes to Jared, and he's like, okay, Jared, look, we need to do something about this. This is unacceptable. He's showing him, thinking that Jared will be like, oh, yeah, she's fired. Like, you can't just have sex in the office, right? Well, Jared did not have that reaction. Jared wanted to see the tape in full.
He's
like, excuse me, can you be kind and rewind?
Put it in slow motion. I need
a little bit slower, please. And so while he's showing Jared this video, Jared's like, you know what? I think we need some more cameras. Why don't you set up some more cameras? We need to make sure this isn't happening in any other rooms. Please, let's get to the bottom. Can you go ahead while you're at it? Put one in the office. Can you go ahead and put one in the bathroom? Put one in the kids' bedroom. I don't know I don't know why they have bedrooms at the foundation, but I guess he's just put any bedroom that you can you put them in your own kid's bedroom. Just put them in anybody's bedroom.
Everywhere, yeah.
So at first, Russell's like, ha 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 ha, you're funny. But then Jared starts to buy him things like a house, like a Mercedes.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, he's actually, not only did he buy him this house, he's paying for the house.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's paying for he's paying for all the expenses.
Yeah, that's a good friend.
So he's officially in what is called the golden handcuffs.
Okay.
Months later, Jared comes up to Russell and is like, hey, what about those hidden cameras? How about that? And he reminded him, and this is quotes, Daddy is paying for your things. Ew, David.
Daddy.
Ew, David. Jared Fogel called himself Daddy. So Taylor he's locked in these golden handcuffs. He doesn't have anything else to do. He's literally the Ghislaine, whatever you call her, Maxwell. He's the fall guy. He's stuck. He has he has to do it. Yeah, he's got his house paid for, his car paid for. He's in these golden handcuffs, and he's the one doing the dirty work. So he's like, okay. He starts putting hidden cameras, clock radios. He's putting them in bedrooms. He's putting them in different cities. He's putting them everywhere. He's just putting cameras out. I guess it's just wherever their foundation is, the cameras are on the foundation, and he's putting them in his own home.
What? Russell's full of shit.
Okay. So it's capturing photos and videos of children ages 6 to 12. It's this, yeah. And some of the videos he just wanted to see them unclothed.
That's it.
Some of them. Most of them are just of watching them change. It's just disgusting. I know. I don't get it. It makes, I don't have, yeah. So most of them are not capturing videos of any acts being performed.
Okay.
So it's just, we're just videoing them so we can watch them.
Just a voyeur. Voyeur likes to watch.
Yeah. So he, the only person that Russell showed any of these videos to was to Jared. But Jared really started to like him. And he would review them for the best ones. But then he was like, I think that I need him to be a little bit higher quality. And then he tells Russell, Daddy needs more pictures.
Put him in HD.
Daddy needs more pictures.
Definition.
And so he wanted to up the ante. He wanted better quality. And so he started purchasing professional spy equipment.
Oh, did you go to the spa shop in Miami?
He did.
Gin game?
He probably did. He was with them. So then now he has this great equipment. So a couple of years later, it's 2010. And guess what? Maybe Jared's calmed down a little bit. He's like tired of watching these videos of little children. And
more.
He gets married again to an adult.
Okay.
I don't know how this grown adult, I guess nobody ever thinks he's just nice and normal. And maybe he's changing his ways. He's done with the underage escorts. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, did you believe it for 5 seconds? Because don't. So even with all of these, he has all this child porn. He still wants more. He wants more. And remember that radio show host I mentioned earlier? Rochelle? Yeah, he's still hooking up with Rochelle in his second marriage.
Okay.
So he's still doing it. I mean, he's just she obviously was giving really good blowjobs. So she eventually becomes suspicious of Jared whenever Jared told her that he thought middle school girls were hot and that he was attracted to them. And then Rochelle decides to secretly start recording their conversation and baiting him further and further to see what she could get out of him. Yes, he said things to her. And so this side note brings me to what recently came out. And if you've just heard about Jared in the news lately, it's because they have just released this documentary on the ID channel.
Okay.
And it's called like Chasing a Monster. Jared from Subway catching a monster, chasing a monster or something. Like catching a predator.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to tell you, don't go waste your time on that documentary. It is 3 episodes. It only needs to be 1. And if you do watch it, just watch the last episode. You don't need You don't need to watch the other 2. Rochelle really is trying to be all about Rochelle.
Oh, okay. She's trying to get famous.
I don't know how many times I learned that Rochelle was on a radio station and that she was secretly recording and she was going to make the drop with the FBI agents, and she just was trying to be a super secret spy, and she was trying to be so important, and she really was not that important at all. But if you go, you can watch it. Just watch the last episode, unless you want to waste a couple more hours of your life, like I did. Then you can watch the first 2.
So she's gonna set him up.
She is yes.
Okay.
But so she sets him up, and some of the text messages that she's recording their phone conversations. She ends up going and showing that, like, hey, FBI, I have these phone conversations. Like, we can't do anything about it because it's just audio. We don't have any proof. All we have is that he's saying this, and this could just be dirty talk.
Okay.
Because they thought it was just like, oh, this is just y'all's dirty talk, and this doesn't prove anything. And so she got mad, but it took like 10 years from the recording of these conversations to when he finally was arrested. So she's trying to take all the credit, but really it's like other things that really, whatever. So one of the messages, or one of the things that he says in these recordings is, I like all ages. That's the thing. I mean, it depends who's ready for what, who's going to give you the glance. I don't know what that means. The glance. I don't know. So she's gathering all these recordings, and she finally reaches her breaking point whenever Jared mentions to her that he asks about her children because she has 2 children. And he says, what if we put a camera in your kids' room? Would they be okay with that? Or would you rather it be in your son or daughter's room? Which one do you think would be better? And this is all on this is on the episodes.
Yeah.
So this was on I was like, give me to the juicy part. So she was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know which one you would like better. You know, and she's obviously recording it and she doesn't know what to say. And it's so gross because he's so, it's just disgusting. So this whole time, I kind of already, this is what I just said. So after she's gets all these recordings, sends it to the FBI, they can't do anything about it. Well, let's bring back Russell Taylor. Okay. Russell Taylor he's married. He has 2 kids. Well, Russell Taylor and his wife, they're actually swingers.
How does it find its way in every episode?
I literally was shocked whenever I heard this. I was like, I didn't even prepare for them to be swingers. I wasn't prepared for it. But you know what? Look, man, here we are. We're back. We're back to swingers. Everything's connected to porn, and it's not my fault. This is what it is. You're here, and you're welcome. So they're obviously having sex outside of marriage. That's what a swinger is. They're introducing more people. They're having neighborhood groupie sex and blah, blah, blah. Well, he gets a little too comfortable with one of his groupie neighbor friends, and he starts texting, and they're sexting and all this stuff. Well, he offers one of these groupie neighbor friends, hey, do you want to see some child porn pics? And the neighbor friend's like, excuse me? Not into that. And so maybe cross the line. He also offered to send this lady pictures of images of bestiality.
Oh, God.
So this lady calls the police and she's like, you need to handle this. This is where the police get involved. So Rochelle.
Oh, it wasn't even Rochelle.
Wasn't even Rochelle. So it's passed off to cybercrime detectives, and there's this giant investigation in 2014 of this Russell Taylor. So all these text messages, all of these, the police actually end up raiding Russell Taylor's house. They go into his house, they raid it, they arrest him. She's aggressive. They find that they have these video cameras that are in these clocks, and they're in the kids' bedrooms. And initially he was like, oh, there's cameras for security purposes, clearly, and like preventing theft. And no, these hidden cameras showed his kids undressing. And in some cases, they said they involved sexual acts. That's all I know. According to Russell's 2 stepdaughters who were included on this ID documentary, they were on these cameras and they ended up finding out about this as they're older, and they're like shocked, and the mom was included in it too. And the kids, which was their mom. And the kids were like, they made everything seem like it was so normal and natural. Like it was normal for us to drink alcohol. It was normal for us to like smoke a cigarette. And it was normal for her to give him a blowjob and then come and tell us all about it.
So she was gross too.
Yes.
He's the biggest predator, I feel like. It was his idea to even start it. He wanted to see Jared's reaction.
Oh, that's probably true.
He wanted to see Jared. People stealing. Who gives a shit? Everything gets insured. So it was his idea to put it in, his idea to see Jared's reaction. So he's just as much of his gross ass.
Yes.
Not more.
Yep. They would watching the kids take showers, watch them get dressed,
because if you weren't okay with that, you would draw the line at your house and your own family.
Yeah, why are you putting? Yes. That's why you're in the FBI. So this guy gets taken into custody, and then he starts throwing Jared under the bus, saying he's my boss. He's the one who told me to do all this stuff and blah, 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 like throwing him under the rug for sure. And then this is where it starts to blow up. News outlets are starting to hear about it. Oh, Fogel Foundation has distributed child porn. Jared comes out publicly. He's so shocked. He puts out a statement. He's saying like, oh, I'm so shocked to learn of these disturbing allegations that Mr. Taylor's talking about and blah, blah, blah. It's just wild. It's wild. And but all the while, Russell, I don't know if it was Russell's. I
think it was Russell.
So 32 days later, after Russell gets raided and arrested, July 2015, they raid Jared's house.
All these kids, it was male and female kids, right? It wasn't just one.
Right. So
it's very not common. Like child porn, if you're a pedophile.
I don't know because I don't know what's. I've never really looked into like a case of how. I don't know how they do the.
I mean, it's just like they're like a sexual sadist, right? So you go toward, like, if I was a sexual sadist, I would kill what I'm attracted to, right? So you kill women if it's a sexual sadist. So if you're a pedophile, you're going to molest or look at porn on the sex you're attracted to.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he was attracted to both.
And so it's very
he just liked
both.
The young look.
Yeah.
Like in like it's so gross. It's so we don't go that. Yeah.
Or
I think he
Jared
just
liked the girls, and the other guy might have liked the boy. I don't know. It's just so weird.
It's just so weird. So they had police dogs come in who had the ability to sniff out thumb drives in the walls, SD cards, iPads, all kinds of stuff. Like, because you assume that they're going to be hiding all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they find 2 SD cards that were Eastern European child porn.
Okay.
Subway immediately dropped him. Sharknado 3 dropped him.
Sharknado.
And his wife, of course, divorced him. And he had 2 kids with his wife. So out of all everybody was quick to denounce him. But Subway, people were very suspicious of Subway. Did Subway know? Did they not know?
Did they know?
How could they know? How could they not know? Had they been warned of Jared's creepy behavior?
By who?
Maybe former Subway owners? So it turns out back in 2004, Subway received a complaint about him that he had tried to solicit an underage girl at a Las Vegas promo event in 2008. And then one of the Florida Subway franchisees told the CEO of Subway at the time, so like an owner of the a Florida Subway, told Jeff Moody, who was the CEO at the time, about Jared and his disturbing comments about kids. Well, then Moody went on to say that there was nothing that implied any sexual behavior about Jared Fogel. But interestingly enough, this franchise owner, this Florida lady, Cindy Mills, turns out she's also having an affair with Jared. Or Jared's having an affair with her, however you say it. So he's over here with Rochelle and he's over here with Cindy. And once Cindy was hooking up with Jared started texting her about possibly having sex with a 16-year-old. And some of these text messages were about them or him meeting up with one of her underage cousins. And he would also constantly text her about wanting to get some underage girls and call girls and wanted them for sex. And I guess he just like will talk about it and just maybe they're interested. Oh, maybe they'll provide me with whatever. But is it raining?
It sounds like it.
So I don't know. Jared's second wife, the new one, claims that Subway was aware of some of these reports against him, even though they say that they didn't know.
Okay, I can see like maybe shunning one report, but multiple, that's a pattern
I mean, you know, all these executives are shady anyways. I mean, look at Epstein and all the people who are doing everything. I don't know what
money rules.
Yeah, you get away with anything. Anything is terrible. So, yeah.
Probably why they're slowly cutting their ties anyways, because they knew.
Yeah.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, this is Sarah.
And I'm Carter.
And this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music, and we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and vinyl. So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Mike.
And we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros, Foes, Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
What's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
the Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
We scavenged. We stalked.
We did things we're really ashamed of.
Yellow Jackets, Showtime's Emmy-nominated phenomenon, returns.
There was some darkness with us. I thought when we were rescued that we left it there, but they brought it back with us.
We hear the wilderness and it hears us. We hear the wilderness and it hears us.
I thought you'd be more excited to see me.
Yellow Jackets, new episodes streaming now, only on Showtime, and now stream Showtime on Paramount+.
This episode is brought to you by Bumble. Ladies, Bumble is in your corner. They remain dedicated and committed to supporting women, providing a safer space to build kind and meaningful connections. And the way they see it, every day is International Women's Day. So this year, to show their ongoing support, Bumble is investing in the next generation of women making moves for a better tomorrow. Make your move and join Bumble in supporting women. Visit bumble.com/IWD.
So Jared is finally arrested. He's charged after the raid. He pleads guilty to the allegations. He didn't even try to pretend.
Okay.
So,
Good.
Yes, guilty to the allegations that he paid for sexual acts with children and received child porn. He pled guilty to both of those things. How disgusting. Russell Taylor ended up pleading guilty in a plea agreement because he gave evidence over, helping to convict Jared. So I don't think he got less of a sentence though, because he was originally going to get 30 years, but with his plea agreement, it was knocked it down to 27. Russell. For producing and distributing child porn. Jared had a $15 million fortune that would eventually be wiped out, paying $1.4 million in restitution to the 14 victims.
Damn. These were the people on the video, but not the prostitutes.
I think it's a mixture.
Okay.
I think because he kept soliciting like the underage escorts, and then it was the underage people who were videoed, maybe people at the foundation. So that they came up with 14 total. And then his second wife was the one, she would take $7 million in the divorce. Jared was eventually sentenced to 15 years in prison. He'll serve 13 years before he gets parole, and he should be free as soon as 2028. So Jared is over here crying out his little Subway eyeballs when he's eating his very last Subway sandwich and holding on to those giant pants one last time. But this bitch is heading to prison. Wow. And, prison pen pals. He has prison pen pals.
Ew.
In one of his letters, it says, he wrote to his little lady pen pal, "So when do you think you will have sex next? If you do, will it be okay if you tell me about it?" That would be a huge turn on for me.
He's a pervert.
So he is definitely a pervert. And do you think Subway knew about it? I wrote questions down. Do you think Subway knew anything about it? And, I have a food for thought, but do you think Subway knew anything about this?
Yeah. Probably so, but I don't think
I would think if they knew, they would be like, stop making it so obvious, or don't talk about it.
I would think, be smart about your shit. If you're going to do dirty,
I feel like maybe they were like, people came into them and told them stuff, and they probably get told stuff like this all the time.
I would think it was just more like he's buying prostitutes and he's requesting underage prostitutes, right?
And they're like,
then it's because, it's prostitute. Maybe that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would have known the extent of like all the video, and the cameras.
Yeah,
and
they
stuff.
probably didn't.
So they're like, ooh, do we want to miss millions of dollars over, just this a couple of prostitutes? So maybe in that aspect.
Yeah.
I wonder if he is even a pedophile, just a gross pervert, because he probably did without, nobody wanted him. He's like incel-ish for the first 3 or 4 years of his life.
Yes.
Nobody wanted to touch him.
No, yeah.
So now that he had money and power and fame and people wanted him, he was going to dabble in any, and I thought you were going to tell me that him and Russell got down dirty.
They probably did, because if that first night they had that prostitute and they both had sex with her. But I don't understand why do you have to go for little kids?
So that's what I want to know. The first video was an intern, right?
Uh-huh. And I know that
having sex with her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. I think
Jared is how old at this? Like, he's still college age-ish, right? So I'm not okay in any of this, y'all. But if it was a 7-year-old girl, to me, that's a little kid. If this is a 17-year-old college student that's got a body like she's a Kardashian or something, you know, then I think that looks different. I think that's more pervert-ish versus pedophilia. Now, Russell's ass, he's the true pedophile because he wanted to see his stepkids, all age kids, and it was his idea to video it so that he could look at it. And then in a moment of, what's it called, horniness with your swinger friend, you want to bring that out like you would bring out a toy or porn, right? Not let's watch this porn, let's look at these young kid videos. So I think it turned Russell on. Jared was going to take anything that he can get because he had never had it. He'd been big for forever. Like, I don't know. I'm not taking up for Jared at all. But I think these are two gross people that find each other. This is the shit that they can do.
April, you're not a pastor, but you keep bringing the word. I'm pun daddy today.
This is crazy. I just don't know how, where and how they were putting all these cameras in, like just in random people's houses.
I know, because that's what it said in the documentary. It was like, and they just put these cameras in bedrooms, and I was like, whose bedrooms? What do you mean bedrooms? And the only bedrooms that I saw was the Russell guys' kids' bedrooms.
Yeah.
So unless they had bedrooms at the foundation headquarters, I was like, I think they were just like in the bath, like maybe there is a gym and changing rooms, and then I don't know where else they would stash them, but I think it was a lot. I think Jared really liked, but he also, when he was talking to Rochelle, her kids were like 10 and 11, and he was wanting her to put cameras in her kids' bedrooms.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I don't know. They're both gross asses. Poor Rochelle. She tried to be DTF.
Rochelle, you tried, and you know,
and
good
really,
effort.
She should have been like, I told y'all so. 10 years ago, I told y'all so.
I think
you
she did. I think
so
she's
in
a wheelchair now in this documentary.
Poor thing.
Poor Rochelle. And she said her kids abandoned her, and I don't know why. Her kids got mad at her and stopped talking to her.
Because they didn't get none of that restitution money. You should put the camera up so I could get so I could get some of that money.
Yeah, the pastor, but keep speaking the word, girl.
Okay, so in January, I saw randomly on my notices that came up, maybe like TMZ, that Subway is exploring selling out. This was happening this January, so I'm wondering when that documentary come out. And then,
it just came out last week.
So they must have knew that it was coming out. So they were thinking about selling for $10 billion and was exploring selling options. They did a press release.
Oh, they're going to be pissed at us.
This came out February 15th, 2023. Because
that's when they did that? That's when they said that?
I saw it in January-ish, but this just what I'm reading on News Nation. This was dated February 15th. 2023.
Oh, yeah. No, the documentary literally came out like March 6th or something.
So they knew it was coming out. And then...
Oh, my gosh. And then they're like, people are going to go on their podcast and talk about it?
Yeah. How bad did Subway talk about it? I mean, how bad was Subway talked about in the documentary?
I mean, it's Jared from Subway. So
not that. About them covering it up.
Oh,
a little bit here and there, just kind of hinted at it.
No, wasn't. I think it was just that it was Jared from Subway. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a big thing about Subway knowing about it and all the scandal of that. No, it was just the fact that it was Jared. And if you're not old like us, because I mean, Jared was a big deal. I don't know why he just because he kept popping up everywhere. With his giant ass pants. Mm-hmm. Jared and his pants were all over the place.
Yeah. Yep.
And yeah, I mean, he was on the Super Bowl commercials. He was on Oprah. He was on Today. I mean, he was everywhere.
This was saying that they're losing. they're losing a lot of popularity and money due to all the other sandwich shops opening up. So
they're switching how they slice their meat.
Well, and then think of all the bad stuff that's come out, because I always loved Subway and I always loved their tuna. Then it came out it's not real tuna. Their chicken wasn't real chicken.
And they were probably like the only big sandwich shop like that for a while, right?
Yeah. And then you had like Quiznos, and now you got Which, and now you got all these other, I don't know, sandwich.
Jimmy John's.
Yeah, Jimmy John's. So now they came out with, they're doing actual sandwiches. So they want you to go in and order like from a menu instead of a have it your way. Remember before it was have it your way. You just tell them whatever you want. They put it on. Toasted,
yeah, you go.
Toasted. Yeah. So they're trying to move away from that. And just have, take this turkey bacon club, or just do this, and move away from making it your own way. And I was like, are they trying to cut back on condiments or whatever? But no, they're trying to look like the other sandwich chains, so that because they were doing better than what they were. But maybe that's all an excuse to get in front of this damn documentary, and they couldn't sell it.
Preach, Pastor, preach.
I was like, is Shaq going to buy it?
Oh, my
Before I thought about, he just buys random stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Good story. Random story. I wonder
so random. So random. It was so random.
And it's only in the news because our documentary just came out.
Yes. That's how that's how it came up in my, I didn't even know he was a pedophile. I think I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know about it. And that it was so like intense. And yeah, it just came out on March 6th. Oh, it's on Discovery Plus too.
Okay.
But I watched it on Hulu.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I mean, you go watch it if you want. We should have played the trailer for him. Probably still can.
You can go watch it. Okay, that is good.
That's
good.
it.
No murders, but still some true crime.
Still a little swingers in there, but that was unexpected.
A little pedophilia.
Yeah, pedophilia, no blood. Got a little bit of comedy in there.
Love. Okay, y'all, if you love this episode, send it to 5 of your friends. And before you leave, do not forget to go rate us, review us, and subscribe to us. And if you have a favorite story that we have not covered thus far, send us something.
Send it. Send it.
We
need to get inspired sometimes. So this is kind of, I got inspired because I like to do the what's happening now, I guess.
What's happening now?
Yeah.
Except for that was 2000.
Yeah, you're right.
It's only happening to you now because you just not found out
about
it.
Yep.
Love. It is. That does seem like yesterday, though.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, this is it. Don't forget
to stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF, and also NTA. Never trust anyone.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
DTF is down to find.
Or is it?
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.